So I haven't done a lot of live. I've done a few live paintings, but not on my site. I've done a few somewhere else. So, my angle's probably poor. And I don't know who's going to be on watching. But you know what? I'm just going to do a little art, talk a little bit. So this is all just wet on wet. And we're just going to see where it goes. I was really frustrated with this piece earlier today. Just was not going the way I wanted it to go. Getting a little happier with it now. It's just kind of how art is sometimes. It's just kind of the way it is sometimes, Go sit over my shoulder a little more instead of sideways. What do you think? I don't know. How about some little red? No, I don't think so. How about Viridian? Maybe. Got orange down here. Going to do, where is my blue? This is one of my favorite colors. My favorite color right here. French Ultramarine. It's one of my favorite colors. It is. It is for sure. French Ultramarine. A little bit right here. A little bit more over here. Some more over here. See how that looks. I like it a lot. I do. Up here it's going to be nice and dark. Oh yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Down here we're going to lighten it up with this white. Yeah. Maybe what I need is this other. You probably can't see this very well, can you? I probably need to move this camera a little bit so you can see a little easier. I was going to try, and it might work. I was going to try to have you guys... Oh, hi. You're close. Looking down like this. What do you think about that? It's kind of a crazy shot, though, huh? So you want to be right here, don't you? Right in the action, huh? Right where you can see what's going on. Just don't have a spot for you right here. Can mount you on my shoulder. That'd be kind of silly, huh? I guess I could probably put you on the other side if I had something to put you on. I don't know. Let's get this turned. There you go, you're looking at the ceiling. So, I'm working on this piece, and I started it this morning, and I kind of had an idea in mind, but the idea just wasn't working like I was hoping, and I was getting frustrated. So I went for a walk, worked on a little more, ate some lunch, worked on a little more, and then sometimes you just have to let go. Sometimes you just kind of have to just let go of what you're trying to work on and where you're trying to go. And once you let go, then it starts to make progress. So that's what I finally did. And now I'm kind of enjoying it a little more. Where'd that blue go? Here it is. Let me put a little blue over here. There we go. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. So I watched this show. It's on Netflix called Altered States. It's definitely an R-rated show. I wouldn't suggest it for kids. Dog's barking. You think the dog's barking now? Kids playing. Yeah. I'm gonna try to switch where you're at. Let's see if I put you back here. I don't think I can zoom out though. Nope. Hello. See it a little better back there? You want to be closer, don't you? You want to be right in the action, huh? I know. Hey, my video's done. Oh, yes, it's done. Awesome. I've been uploading this video. Here we go. Good job. I've got another one to upload next. My computer's over there. My work desk's over here. This is my studio space. It works for me for now. Hopefully soon I'll have a bigger studio. I think so. I'm on Patreon, which is a good deal. I'm gonna grab something real quick. Okay. No, I'm gonna leave it there. I was gonna switch sides, but I think you're good. So, anyways, kind of got off on a bunch of tangents there. So I've been watching this show called Altered Carbon, and the premise of the show is sci-fi, and so in the back of your neck right here, they're able to insert a disc which records who you are, your personality, all your memories, everything is recorded in this disc. And then they can pull that out and put it into any body. So you could become basically anyone. And they call the body the sleeve. And then that is your person. So you can take on different sleeves. And so, of course, you know, if there's no, how do you identify people if, you know, they could jump bodies? So, you know, it's a murder mystery kind of thing, and so, you know, it'd be easy for the murderer to just kind of put their disc in anybody's, or have somebody put their disc in anybody's body, and then how could you really track who that person is? So, fingerprints, DNA, you know, all that stuff doesn't hold true anymore, you know. But so the super rich, they just clone their bodies. They pick an age, 45. It's a good age, not really. I'd prefer 35, but, you know, if you want to... Anyways, so they pick an age, clone their bodies at that age, and then they just, you know, every couple of years, they just, or every year, every 6 months, whatever, they just switch out their disc into the new body that's just been cloned at that age. And they live forever. So, of course, they can just keep accumulating wealth and keep living forever, and it's an interesting thought if you start thinking about that, about the mind-body connection and exactly who you are as a person. Are you just the sum total of what's in your mind, or are you your body? You know, if you could switch bodies and become anybody for a day or an hour or a week or for a life, would that change who you are? I think it probably would. I think it probably would change who you are. If you could take on, if I could go into, say, a woman's body and live as a woman for a while, that would give me a different perspective on life. So it would change who I am. If I could become an athlete, you know, become an NFL player for a season, I think that would probably change your outlook on life. And if you had the opportunity to try all these different, you know, what would that make you a more rounded person, or what would that do to you? But what about the people who can't afford to do that, who are just stuck in one body? Or in the show, they get re-sleeved. People who are like murdered, or people who are in accidents and die, they can get re-sleeved into whatever body's available. So it could be anything, you know. Could you recognize somebody? Like if my 9-year-old son died and he got re-sleeved as a, I don't know, 70-year-old grandma, I mean, would that really be my son? I mean, what would that, how would So there's a big disconnect there, you know, if you start really thinking about it. And it's interesting because right now the mind is the sum total of our experiences. And we know our experiences through our senses. And so we can deceive our senses into believing stuff like virtual reality. Now you have those virtual reality goggles. And one of the things I'd really like to get into is virtual reality painting. There's some really great programs on that where you can create whole city or whole rooms full of your paintings that somebody could walk into virtually, and it'd be really different, you know. But you can trick your mind into thinking you're actually there in that room. If you've ever done one of those virtual reality simulators, and I've done those, you go in and you really, your mind, you're out of your body. You're deceived, you know, and now your mind is thinking, but that it's climbing a mountain or soaring over a valley, or you know, it's your mind thinks it's doing something else. So your body, all of a sudden, you just lose equilibrium and want to fall over. But who are we? What makes us us? What makes me me? You know, is it the physicality of my body, or is it my mental, who I am in my mind? And then what about being deceived through our senses? Intentionally deceived through our senses. So there's just a lot to think about there. And so one of the reasons why I am attracted to abstracts, like the one I'm working on here, is I feel like our lives are becoming much more abstract. And as they become more abstract, reality kind of loses its hold, or maybe does reality become stronger? You know, but does reality have a place? And I gotta clean that off. There we go. Or is reality even there? How do we know that reality exists? We only know reality exists through our senses, but our senses can be deceived through virtual reality. And so maybe we're already living in a virtual reality. We're not living in someplace real. And so when you look at reality, you have to question, what is reality? Not only how do we know it exists, but what is it that we're perceiving? What is it that we're experiencing? And so when I'm working on an abstract, it's the experience of the abstract. It's the experience of painting. It's the experience of viewing that painting for the very first time. It's the experience of that's a nice line. Dog's barking again. Kids are running around the neighborhood today. And when you go and look at an abstract, you can't look at it in the same manner in which you're going to look at a beautiful forest or a flower. You have to look at it experientially. So you have to have your emotions open and ready. You have to have your mind open and ready. So that way when you first see an abstract, that first sensation is like, oh, I hate it, or oh, I love it, or oh, I'm captivated, I'm drawn in, or oh, you know, and then you have to run with that, you know, and you have to process, you have to work through it, because it's that experience that I'm trying to capture. And I can't share the experience of painting. Well, I kind of am through a video, but I can't share that experience of painting with a new audience. You know, they only have the experience of seeing the painting for the first time. So hopefully, as I'm painting, I'm capturing a little bit of, I'm sharing some of my experience of the painting, but I'm also capturing some emotion and something in it that is going to stop the viewer and make them want to look at it longer and want to spend quality time with it, want to enjoy its presence. A little bit more from over here. There we go. So, this is me painting. These are my wandering thoughts that I have. I know, they're kind of crazy. But it's been fun. Thank you for listening to me.
have yourself a great day, and I will share some more live videos at another time.